Hi, and welcome to the Sci-Fi and Sunshine podcast.
Hi, this is Bria from the Sci-Fi and Sunshine podcast, coming to you in the evening because the day has gotten away from me yet again, and tomorrow's a holiday, so I'm making this one real short and sweet. So I'm a running mom, I'm a speculative fiction author, and today I am bringing a little bit of self-promotion, but also tying it in to Independence Day here in the United States, where we celebrate the 4th of July tomorrow, just a few hours away. And when I joined the Alvarium experiment, I've talked a little bit about being part of this group of authors. We collaborate on anthologies. So the very first anthology we did is called the Prometheus Saga, and we also have a sequel, volume 2. And I wrote a short story for this collection. You'll notice a bunch of author names. I'm one of many authors contributing a short story to this anthology and to this one. I wrote a short story set during the American Revolution for both of these anthologies. So they are 99-cent single Kindle stories. The first story, the one featured in the Prometheus Saga, is called On Both Sides. On Both Sides is a story featuring a couple of young boys who join the Continental Army. And in the sequel, the story is called Her Midnight Ride. So that story is featured in this anthology. The main character is an actual historical figure named Sybil Ludington, and she's a little bit lesser known than Paul Revere, but she also has a midnight ride, and so that hence the title. So in each of these anthologies, the Alvarium experiment, the premise that Ken Pelham and Charles Cornell, when they formed our group, they had this anthology in mind as our very first one, and the premise is imagining an alien race that sends a probe to Earth. It looks human, it can morph, become male, female, any race to blend in throughout history. And so this character had to show up in each of our stories, and we all chose different historical time periods. As stated, I chose American Revolution, someone else did ancient Greece, modern day, Berlin in the 30s, and basically we spanned the gambit of time and chose these different historical time periods where this character shows up and observes, and the probe from the alien race is not supposed to interfere, but they're watching. And so in some of the stories it's kind of like a Where's Waldo, in other stories it's made very clear who this character is. So in my story it's a little bit of a mystery at first, but becomes pretty evident who this character is once you start reading. So there are, I want to say 13 stories in this anthology and maybe 10 in this one. So the premise is the same for both volume 1 and volume 2 of the Prometheus Saga. You can get these print editions on Amazon. You can find my link tree in my bio, and that's where I'll make sure I link to these. You can also get the single Kindle edition if you would just like to sample, for example, 99-cent stories. Each of these short stories are 99 cents as single stories. So my stories, both On Both Sides and Her Midnight Ride, are 99 cents in the Kindle store, so I'll link to those individually as well. The thing I did want to mention, Her Midnight Ride, featured in this one, was an award winner. It won the Silver Award at the Royal Palm Literary Awards for novella in 2019. And that was pretty exciting, especially because I had a lot of fun writing about this character, 16-year-old Sybil, who, as I said before, she did a midnight ride, but she's not as well known as, say, Paul Revere, but her ride was just as important. So it was a lot of fun to write about that. And I ended up meeting a distant relative of hers in my research, and that was also really fun, getting to talk to this woman who is a direct descendant or perhaps related in some way to her. So this story, the main characters, the boys who join the Continental Army, they are not historical figures, but there are historical figures mentioned in the stories. So go ahead and celebrate Independence Day however you wish, of course. We live in this wonderful free country, you get to do that. But I do hope you'll consider reading some of my American Revolution stories by picking up either the single Kindle stories or grab the anthologies and read them in here. These are a lot of fun as well, just going through history with that little bit of a sci-fi twist. All right, thanks everybody. This was a little bit of a shorter one, and I am getting up for a race bright and early in the morning. So I'm gonna say good night.
That's all for now. As you venture through this sci-fi world we all find ourselves living in, may you be the sunshine to the people around you today. Adios.